What's going on? It's BF Nkrumah, and this is the Nkrumah Perspective, where I teach personal development through the lens of a black man, primarily to black men, but I still have love for and help the sisters. It's been a long time, man. I haven't done a pod in a while. It's been a lot going on, man. Brother damn near died in the fire. then then a brother caught COVID and the flu at the same damn time. And it's been a lot. It's been a lot, but we are back. And I'm really, really, really excited to be back. As always, if you find value in the show, make sure you stop by bfandkrumah.com/store to pick up one or all 8 of my books. Or if you just get so much value, you want to drop something on a brother, just go to Cash at BF Nkrumah. Now let's get into it. Tonight, I want to talk about our responsibility to be our best selves, our responsibility to be our best selves. One of the things I hate, one of the things, can y'all hear me? Let me know, Shannon, let me know, can you hear me before get going and you can't hear me? Oh, the oh no sounds like you listened to what I was saying. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So let's go. Right. So our responsibility to be ourselves. One of the things I hate is people holding other folks to a higher standard than they hold themselves. I don't care if somebody's a leader, pastor, politician. I just don't feel like you should hold somebody to a standard that you don't hold yourself to. It's like you can just live any old kind of way, but nah, you supposed to be X, Y, and Z. But what really boggles my mind is a lot of times we hold people to a higher standard about our lives. Like we want other people to care more about our lives. We want other people to lift us up more than we do ourselves. And and a lot of people do not take the responsibility to be their best selves, and they're living lives that are harmful to everybody around them, and they think that everybody is just supposed to put up with their stuff. So tonight, what I want to push back against is the saying, if you didn't stay with me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. I want to push back on that tonight because I think that is utter BS, utter BS. And I've seen so many people saying that over the years. If you ain't stay with me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. When I get X, Y, and Z, I'm cutting everybody off as soon as this and that. I ain't speaking to nobody. And they're not taking no responsibility over being their best selves. They're not taking no responsibility over being an individual that other people want to be around, or other people want to help, or other people want to just do anything for, not taking any responsibility to be their best selves, but they want everybody else to sit around with them, to enable them, to carry them, to do everything that they want, and they never look at themselves. Now, sometimes, right, at your worst, you don't always have to be a bad person. Just because you're at your worst don't mean you're a bad person. Sometimes you could just be dealing with so much stuff or dealing with things that you don't even understand. But just because you don't understand what you're dealing with does not mean everybody else is supposed to just deal with it because you don't know what's going on within yourself. So I'm going to use myself as an example. Years ago, I was in a relationship, and I've been very open about my mental health over the years. And before I knew what anxiety attacks were, I used to have them severely. And I didn't know what was going on. I just knew I would be triggered by whatever. And when I'm triggered, these attacks would be so intense. And I wouldn't be the best person to be around when these attacks are hitting me. And then after the attack is over, the lingering effect. Now, I didn't know I was having anxiety attacks, but I was having them over and over again. I was having these lingering effects over and over again. And I couldn't communicate to my girlfriend what was going on because I had no idea what was going on. But does that mean she's supposed to just continually deal with it? Now, if I would be honest, the first time we broke up, that was largely the reason. It was largely the reason because I was dealing with some stuff I did not know, but that it made me unpleasant to be around. And sometimes I would do things that are just crazy. So one time, right, we had this car, we had this Pontiac, and for whatever reason, there was like some kind of security malfunction. So sometimes we would get in the car wouldn't start. You had to like put the car in AC mode and sit it there for 10 minutes and then it would start. So one day we was at Pep Boys trying to get something for the car. We come outside, go to start the car does not start. I have no idea why this triggered me, but this triggered the most intense anxiety attack I have ever experienced. I felt like the car was closing in on me, and I just blurted out, "I can't do this!" And I just got out the car and start walking. I'm like 9 miles from home. I walk the 9 miles home. So this attack is just I don't know what to do. I had to walk over a bridge. I'm sitting on the edge of the bridge. I'm thinking about just jumping in the water. I am all messed up. Again, I have no idea that I'm dealing with anxiety. I have no idea that this is an anxiety attack. Now, to my girlfriend, all she knows is her boyfriend just got out of the car and just left. That's all she knows. Is this guy just blurted out, I can't do this. She don't know what this is. She don't know I was talking about be with her or whatever. She has no idea. All she knows is I just jumped out the car and just walked off. So when we are saying, if you didn't stick with me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. What if your worst is insufferable? What if your worst brings everybody down? What if your worst is harmful to the people that you love? What if your worst is so bad and something that you don't understand, they don't understand, and it is driving them up a wall? Is it wrong for them to leave because your worst is so bad? And if you figure out what's going on with you and you work on yourself and then you become your best self, you recognize that you're dealing with anxiety and you go to therapy and you figure out ways to keep yourself from having these attacks and you figure out what you need to do. Now, once you become better, does that mean you should just cut that person off just because they could not deal with how bad you are? Like, you have to be able to look back and take accountability for you being your worst. So instead of me thinking right that if you leave me when I'm at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. This is the real statement. Nobody deserves you at your worst. Nobody deserves you at your worst. It's easy to say you don't deserve me when I'm at my best, but did they deserve the worst version of you? Do your friends deserve the worst version of you? Does your romantic partner deserve the worst version of you? Do your children, do your parents, do your siblings, do your bosses, do your coworkers, does anybody deserve the worst version of you? And this is what I'm talking about when we're not taking responsibility and when we're holding somebody else to a higher standard because they do not deserve. My girlfriend did not deserve the worst version. She didn't deserve that. And while when things fell apart, initially I felt like she abandoned me, and I felt like, damn, you're going to leave me when I'm at my worst. But I had a conversation with her, and she was like, man, once things were over, I felt like a burden was lifted off. What if your worst is a burden? If your worst is a burden, are the people still supposed to just stay around even though you are heavy? So how much are people supposed to take from you? How much are people supposed to take from you? Because if you're thinking nobody's ever supposed to leave you while you're at your worst, I want to know, what are they supposed to put up with? How much are they supposed to deal with? How much of the worst version of you are they supposed to live with every single day? How much of the worst version of you are they supposed to try to encourage every single day? How much of the worst version of you are they supposed to try to help and give ideas to and try to say positive things and try to give affirmations and try to help you to get a job and try to help you to start a business and try to help you to think better of yourself and try to help you build up your self-esteem? How much are people supposed to take from us? How much? But it's your responsibility to be the best you, not criticize people because you gave them the worst version of you. And the reason why I gave my example is because I want folks to understand I'm not talking from a place of some kind of superiority or some kind of moral high ground. No, I was the worst me. Yeah, I was the worst me trying to put the worst me on other people and had to recognize how bad the worst me was and noticing or coming to grips with the fact that nobody deserved to deal with me at that place in my life. So we just think people are supposed to be there forever. How much are they supposed to take? Come on. 6 months of you at your worst, a year of you at your worst, 2 years of you at your worst. Like how long do they have to how long are they supposed to take us at our worst? But we want to say, if you ain't stay with me at my worst. No, I do deserve you at your best. I do deserve you at your best because everybody deserves the best you. You deserve the best you. It's like, how can you be mad at somebody for not wanting to be with the worst version of you when you're not even happy with the worst version of you? You're not happy with the worst. When you are at your worst, you are miserable yourself. You waking up every morning miserable. I was dealing with so much depression and I was dealing with so much mental health issues when I was in a relationship with this woman. Undiagnosed mental health issues and no idea what was going on with me. All I knew was I just didn't feel good. And if I didn't feel good, you knew I didn't feel good. Who want to be around somebody you know they don't feel good all the time? How long are you supposed to wait? If if you if you weren't working on you, why should people wait on you? So if you were just wallowing in whatever you're dealing with, you just wallowing in it. You not working with no personal development coach. You not reading no personal development books. You not listening to no personal development lectures. You not going to therapy to unpack certain things or at least reading therapy books to help you unpack some of the stuff. You're not trying to figure out what's going on with you. You're not trying to be the best version of yourself. You're complaining about everything that's going on in your life, but you're not taking the initiative to do anything else. If you are not working on you, why should anybody wait? Why should I give you 2 months if you ain't working on yourself? So we think people just supposed to just sit around, watch you at the bottom, and you're not even trying to do anything else. And I'm just supposed to just deal with that, deal with your complaints every day. Nah, it's our responsibility. It is your responsibility to be the best version of yourself. It's nobody else's responsibility. So we got to stop making our problems other people's problems. Your life is your responsibility. You can't be mad when other people don't want to be responsible for you. You cannot be mad when other people do not want to be responsible for you. It's not their job. It's your job. It's your responsibility. But you want everybody to just wait on you hand and foot. And if folks ever get tired of it, you mad at them. Like, how much do you want them to put up with? Can you ever come to grips with the fact that you're the problem? Can you ever come to grips with the fact that you're the problem? Now, some of y'all listening right now, you might be in it. And sometimes it's hard to see it while you're in it. I challenge you right now. If you feel like people have abandoned you while you are at a low point, if that's how you're feeling right now, I challenge you to think about the depths of your low point. What is your low point? How low is your low point? And how is it making those around you feel? Don't just feel like everybody's supposed to just lift you up. I want you to take accountability for your life. If you're feeling like the folks abandoned you, let's take some accountability right now and look at how low we are. Look at our demeanor. Look at our conversations. Look at how we can't celebrate anybody else. Oh boy, when I was dealing with depression, it was hard for me to celebrate somebody else. Even if I wanted to be happy and I wanted to smile for somebody else, it was just hard. Is that you right now? Is it hard for you to be happy for somebody else because you feel like things aren't working for you right now? It's okay. I'm not condemning you. That's why I keep using myself as an example. I'm not condemning you. I'm challenging you because this is something that I had to come to grips with the fact that I was the problem. I was the problem. And even though I felt like, damn, but I'm dealing with something, I had to recognize that nobody deserves the worst version of me. Nobody deserves the worst version of me. So instead of getting mad at folks for leaving, I got to start challenging myself. Like, are you asking people to help you, or are you expecting people to do all the helping? Are you asking people to help you, or are you expecting them to do all the helping? Because a lot of times that's what we're doing. We're not asking for a hand up so we can use some of our muscles to get. We just want people to do all of the helping. So, friend, it's beginning to sound a little personal. I agree to somewhat disagree because I'm so into the Bible like you did, and I've learned some things I went through with sin. Uh, Well, I'm not talking about if things you went through or if you feel like they're sent by God as trials or tests or anything like that. What I'm talking about is just basically the crux of it is nobody deserves the worst version of you. And yes, it's personal. I'm telling my personal story. But this is not from, like I said, I'm not condemning nobody. I'm not mad at the people who I'm not mad at the woman that left. I recognize she didn't deserve that version of me. So even though it's personal, it's not, I'm not, this is not a personal attack on anybody. I'm not attacking anybody who felt like they were miserable around me in that time frame of my life. No. I'm recognizing who the problem was. I'm accepting who the problem was. And the problem was me. The problem was me. I need to give people the best version of myself. You need to give people the best version of yourself. Everybody needs to give everybody the best version of themselves. We can't have people dealing with the worst version of us for months on end, years on end, and then when they can't take it no more, we talk about, well, you don't deserve me when I finally get better. No, you should have been got better. I should have been got better. So again, it's no personal attack with me. I'm admitting who the problem was. I'm admitting who the problem was. Me, Bama Dele and Nkrumah. I was the problem. And again, I didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't know what was going on with me. I had no idea what an anxiety attack was. All I knew is just sometimes I just felt it's like I can't even explain it. It's just something I just feel in my head. I just feel in my gut. It's like my vision gets weird. It's a crazy thing. And then there's just lingering depressing feelings sometimes for 2 weeks after. It used to really be bad. But I can't say if you left me at that time frame, you don't deserve the best me. No, everybody deserves the best of me. Whether they left me or not, they deserve the best me because nobody at any point in time in life deserves the worst me. That's the thing. That's that is the real crux of this thing right here. At no point in life does somebody deserve the worst. Like how can we say somebody don't deserve the best us? How can we say somebody don't deserve the best us? Do you want the worst them? You don't want the worst version of them. And sometimes, right? Sometimes people didn't abandon you. They just didn't have any more strength to carry you. Yeah. They didn't just abandon you as a friend, as a loved one. They didn't just abandon you. They didn't have no more strength to carry you because they've been carrying you at your worst all this time. Somebody got left arm, somebody got the right arm, somebody got the left leg, somebody got the right leg, and everybody carrying you like you in the casket, and they the pallbearers, but you alive. How you got pallbearers while you alive? So this is why it's our responsibility to be our best self. And the reason why I wanted to get into this is because, first of all, a lot of us have no idea what personal development is. So we have not been exposed to personal development. So we continuously be what we see every day. Was this what you see all the time becomes normal. What becomes normal becomes acceptable, and then what becomes acceptable becomes your way of life. So what you see all the time becomes normal. What becomes normal becomes acceptable, and what becomes acceptable becomes your way of life. That's where a lot of us are. We're not thinking about being any better. We're not thinking about changing our character. We're not thinking about changing any of our flaws. And then we wonder why some of the people that were in our life are gone. You didn't think about upgrading who you are ever. Now, you might have thought about getting a better job. You might have thought about getting starting a business. You might have saw somebody online talking about how you can make six figures in the next 3 months, and you like, oh, I want to get rich and buy me a Rolls Royce. But did you ever think about making yourself better? I heard Jim Rohn say years ago, it's not what you have to do to be successful. The question is, who do you have to be? The question is, who do you have to be? You have to work on your being. It's not just these actions and these goal plans. No, you have to work on who you have to be, because you can have all the skills in the world and don't nobody want to be around you. Don't nobody want to be your business partner. You got the best skills in the world, but you ain't got no people skills, so nobody want to buy nothing from your business. So I want us all to reflect on ourselves. In particular, if you right now are at your lowest to, whatever the middle may be, you're not the best version of yourself. You recognize you're not the best version of yourself. You recognize that people have left you, or people, I'm not going to say they left you. You recognize that people stopped carrying you. Well, now it's time for you to figure out, what work do you have to do. Let's go to therapy. Let's unpack our traumas. And not always, it's not always trauma. Sometimes we just have to unpack ideas that don't benefit us. It might have been a well-intentioned idea from your parent that didn't know no better. If you and my generation, we only 4 to 5 generations from slavery. 4 to 5 generations from slavery. My great, 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 great grandparents were enslaved. So sometimes what we believe are still some things that were passed down from the plantation. And we have to unlearn certain things in order for us to be free to grow, to blossom, and to live the life that we were created to live. But so many of us are living beneath our potential. And not because we don't have the potential, but many of us don't know the thing that we have potential to do exists. Because if you're not putting yourself in position to learn possibilities of life, how can you ever attain any of them? You cannot attain or become that which you do not know exists. You might have been raised in the house of hell. You don't know what heaven is. But now you're out of that house because you didn't like the hell house. But guess what? You taking the hell everywhere you go. You taking the hell into every relationship, every interpersonal relationship. The same hell that you wanted to get out. You taking that hell with you, and then you getting upset when people don't like the hell that you didn't like. So we got to begin to. We, I'm gonna always, always, always start with therapy. That's I'm going to always start with therapy. Always, because we got to unlearn before we learn. Motivational speakers just going to try to tell you, just do this. Nah, you got to unlearn some stuff, because you got to break habits. You can only break habits by unlearning. If you don't recognize what you're doing wrong, how you going to break that habit? Or if you don't recognize it as wrong, how you going to break that habit? If you don't recognize this way of thinking is not advantageous to you, how you going to break it? So it's time for us to take responsibility for being our best self, whatever that is, however that looks. But it has to be a conscious decision. A lot of times people think about being their best selves, or they think about the process and think it's something too hard. No, once you make the decision that you want to be better, and every day you're going to be better than you were the day before, come on, you on your way. And this is the thing: the same people that you feel some kind of way about, if they see you getting better every day, they gonna help you. They just can't carry you no more. You just can't be dead weight. Get a little limp. I can't just carry you. But if you put your arm around my shoulder and you limp with me, we can move together. I can push you, I can motivate you as long as you're moving. I can't push and motivate you if you're sitting still. So we got to start that process. Get that therapy. Google some personal development books. Go on YouTube and watch some personal development lectures. Find you a coach. I know a great coach by the name of Bamadele and Nkrumah. Find somebody. Find a friend that you can talk to. Somebody that you know that's doing well. Ask them how they did it. Ask them how they building up their confidence. Just do something. Don't just be at the bottom. Don't just be the worst version of you and expecting everybody to just deal with that. And then talk about how you're gonna cut them off when you get good. Nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. Anybody got any questions before I jump off of here? Our responsibility to be our best selves. Our responsibility to be our best selves. If you don't remember anything from tonight, remember this: nobody at any point in time in life deserves the worst version of you. Nobody at any point in time in life deserves the worst version of you. And the second thing you're going to remember: everybody deserves the best version of you. So the idea that if you left me when I was at my worst, you don't deserve me when I'm at my best. No, 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 no. Everybody deserves the best version of you, because by default, nobody deserves the worst version of you. Even if somebody else is the worst version of themselves, they don't deserve the worst version of you, and you don't deserve the worst version of them. Y'all two together now, y'all just the worst versions of each other. Y'all just the worst version of Voltron. Y'all coming together to be the worst version group, the worst version group. So listen, guys, man, I definitely enjoyed, man, my first night back. I'm going to be going live. I'm going to be going live a lot, man. Bringing more podcasts, bringing more personal. This might have been a little dark starting off, but I wanted to break that idea. It's definitely a little dark. We're going to get to some lighter stuff. We're going to get to some practical applications and things of that nature. What personal development is, how to work on yourself. We're going to get into all of those things. Recognizing our doubts and fears, how to overcome our doubts and fears, how to overcome procrastination, all these different things I got coming down the pike. I feel like whenever I get going, I always start with something dark. I don't know why. I just feel like that's my thing. You got to unlearn some stuff before you learn. So I guess that's why. And when you're talking about unlearning, it always feels like you're talking about something bad. And I'm saying nothing bad. I just want you to recognize that nobody deserves the worst version of you. That nobody deserves the worst version of you. Everybody deserves the best version of you. And I want you to recognize that sometimes that you are the problem and the necessity of everything else that's going to come down the pike after this, man. So again, if you found any value, make sure you stop by, bfnkrumah.com/store. And if you want to drop something on a brother, go ahead to Cash App BF Nkrumah. I will be back tomorrow with another live at 7 p.m. Eastern. Love y'all.